North Korea remains one of the most mysterious and powerful countries in the world, yet every aspect of life here is tightly controlled by the government. From internet access to freedom of movement, citizens live under stringent surveillance with cameras installed throughout the streets. Here, every gesture and every word can be monitored. Behind the facade of a nation that proclaims itself a socialist paradise, there lie many dark realities that few are aware of. Despite North Korea's claims that all children are literate, child labor is alarmingly prevalent. The country is home to bustling black markets, shadowy nightclubs, and a populace that exists in silence. In this video, join us and explore 20 photos that have been successfully smuggled out of North Korea, revealing the harsh realities of life for its people. No 20 surveillance cameras everywhere. One striking photograph from a street corner in Pyongyang has been released to the outside world. At first glance, the scene appears ordinary, with crowds of people and busy traffic capturing the vibrancy of daily life. However, a closer look reveals a telling detail: a multitude of surveillance cameras strategically placed throughout the area. These devices, though they may seem like innocuous decorations, are in fact a testament to the harsh regime of monitoring, reflecting the government's tight grip on every aspect of life. Every step taken by the citizens, from private conversations on the sidewalk to public actions in the crowd, is recorded and scrutinized. This pervasive oversight not only instills fear but also compels individuals to modify their behavior to evade unwanted attention. There is no room for privacy, no moments of freedom. Everything is subjected to scrutiny. The dense presence of surveillance cameras serves as a grave reminder of the citizens' lack of freedom, rights that many take for granted in other nations. This is not a distant tale, it is a reality you will confront the moment you set foot in North Korea. The cameras symbolize a society where personal freedoms are trampled, where every gaze could be a watchful eye and every action is documented. The oppressive atmosphere shrouds daily life, leaving the people of North Korea feeling as though they are trapped in a prison. No 19 The people eating grass to survive. Living in North Korea leaves you with limited food choices. To grasp the gravity of the situation, consider a leaked photograph showing a gaunt man foraging for grass in a field. At first glance, one might assume he is farming, but the stark reality is that he is searching for his daily sustenance: grass. As hard as it is to believe, this is the reality in North Korea, largely unknown to the outside world. Famine has become commonplace among the populace, while the elite indulge in luxury. The impoverished citizens are left questioning why they endure such conditions. In case you find it difficult to empathize, take a moment to be grateful for the circumstances of your own birth. What are your thoughts on this image? Feel free to share your reflections. No 18 Abysmal infrastructure. When discussing the dire living conditions in North Korea, one cannot overlook its impact on transportation. Imagine you are rushing to a critical appointment but are stuck in a long line waiting for a bus. This is the daily reality for North Koreans. While transportation issues exist worldwide, a recent leaked image from North Korea is startling. The photo captures a throng of people waiting to board a bus, clearly outgrowing its capacity threefold. Picture yourself at the end of that line. This is crucial information to consider before contemplating a visit to this nation. The scarcity of public transport makes commuting exceedingly challenging. Citizens are crammed into overcrowded buses, enduring the discomfort because they lack the resources for personal vehicles. Instead, they are left with few options, mainly walking or cycling to get around. No 17 Forced labor. In a dictatorial regime like North Korea, the issue of slave labor deserves urgent attention. Evidence of this grim reality only came to light following a leaked photograph a few years ago. This image not only revealed the existence of forced labor in North Korea, but also underscored the severity of the situation. It depicts two women in a labor camp, closely monitored by a military official. It is evident that these women toil relentlessly from dawn until dusk, trapped in a seemingly endless cycle until change occurs. North Korea is believed to have numerous such labor camps, where the government compels its citizens to work under inhumane conditions. As a result, thousands of lives have been lost, and it is disheartening that no one knows how long this will continue. North Korea is not the only nation accused of such brutal treatment of its citizens. China and Russia also feature on this list. While we cannot imagine living in a place that exploits its populace, we can only hope and pray for these innocent lives, especially children, to have a brighter future. No 16 portraits of the leader must be displayed at home. This photograph highlights the extent of government intrusion into the daily lives of North Korean citizens. It shows a modest home in North Korea, reflecting the simplicity of life there. The house appears sparse with minimal furnishings, just clean wooden floors and a few personal belongings. However, the most striking feature of the image is a grand portrait of Leader Kim. It would be a mistake to assume that the homeowners take pleasure in displaying images of national leaders. In reality, this portrait is mandatory. Every home must have one. Not only do they hang the leader's portrait on their walls, but many also wear badges emblazoned with his likeness on their chests. So if you ever dream of living here, be prepared to display such portraits in your home, even in the absence of basic necessities. Failure to do so could result in being labeled a traitor or a spy. These portraits must be cleaned meticulously every day. What are your thoughts on this regulation? Please share your opinions below. No 15 No computers allowed. The North Korean government appears acutely aware of its capacity to control its citizens. When interacting with tourists, they exercise extreme caution regarding what is permitted for visitors to see. This caution is evident in a staged visit to a local home, designed to showcase a modern lifestyle complete with a computer. Instead of leaving the computer unused, they placed two young girls in front of it to create a more convincing scene. However, a small hiccup occurred. The computer was off due to a power outage. Nevertheless, the girls continued to pretend to type, resulting in a rather humorous situation. These carefully orchestrated images aim to create an illusion of a developed nation, while in reality, access to information technology remains severely restricted. Only a few dozen families with ties to Kim Jong-un and select foreigners enjoy unrestricted use of computers. The rest of the North Korean populace is left yearning for genuine internet access. No 14 radio remains popular. The world is continuously evolving, with old technologies being replaced by new ones daily. However, this is not universally true, as some countries progress at a slower pace. North Korea is a prime example. The next photograph we present shows an outdated radio in a modern home in North Korea. This radio has endured for decades and is certainly not among the few fortunate models still in existence. Interestingly, this antiquated radio is a common device in contemporary North Korean households. It is used to receive state-controlled news broadcasts, tuning in only to channels approved by the government. This image reflects two disheartening realities for those living in free societies. First, the country is technologically backward, and second, the fact that the radio only receives government-sanctioned channels, highlighting the profound lack of freedom in the region. No 13 A modern subway system. Amidst news of North Korea's infrastructure deficiencies, it is surprising to learn that the country possesses some iconic structures, most notably its subway system. An image circulated online reveals the subway's grandeur, featuring opulently decorated stations and meticulously maintained trains. While it may resemble parts of modern cities like New York, the underlying reality is vastly different. The subway system serves not only as a means of transportation but also functions as a bomb shelter, prepared for potential emergencies in the event of nuclear war. The stations, adorned with dazzling chandeliers and artistic displays, may leave a striking impression on visitors, yet they symbolize a harsh truth: the government prioritizes defense measures over meeting the essential needs of its people. While citizens grapple with basic shortages of food and social services, the construction of such a subway system starkly illustrates a glaring contradiction. They have modern infrastructure, yet lack sufficient food, clean water, or electricity. No 12 child labor. North Korea employs not only adult citizens as slave labor but also extends this exploitation to children. Leaked photographs have revealed disturbing scenes of child laborers toiling under the harsh sun, where these kids should be in school instead. Several factors contribute to the rampant issue of child labor in North Korea, with poverty being a primary cause. The economy has languished for decades, forcing many families to rely on their children's income to meet basic living expenses. Notably, a soldier is seen supervising the children, indicating the government is directly involved in this brutal practice. If a nation, which is meant to serve its citizens, engages in such acts, what hope is left for its people? Please share your thoughts on this heartbreaking image. No 11 Mansu Hill Grand Monument. If you are familiar with North Korean landmarks, you have likely heard of the Mansu Hill Grand Monument, which features the towering statues of Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il, the nation's deceased leaders. This site is not only an architectural marvel but also a significant symbol of reverence and worship for those who led the country. Citizens frequently visit to pay their respects, bringing fresh flowers and demonstrating loyalty to the legacy of their leaders. This monument is regarded as one of the nation's most treasured sites, not just for its grandeur but also for its deep political significance. However, behavior at this location is strictly regulated. Taking photographs of the monument from behind is considered a serious offense. This rule reflects both respect for the leaders and the regime's stringent efforts to maintain its image and authority. Additionally, littering around the monument is strictly forbidden and may result in severe penalties. Citizens are taught that failing to keep sacred sites clean is not only disrespectful but also a sign of disloyalty to the state. In fact, no one truly knows the consequences of being caught. Recently, a shocking image surfaced showing the monument in an astonishing state, with a broom left carelessly nearby, presumably due to a careless cleaning staff member. The perpetrator behind this act of negligence remains a mystery, but one can only imagine the potential punishment: public whipping or even execution. The government takes such violations very seriously, leading to harsh repercussions. No 10 barbed wire fences. North Korea is a place many people desire to escape. When you have come to this realization, you are not alone. The government is well aware and has meticulously prepared for future escape attempts. Thus, it is important to warn you that escaping from here is far from easy. This is illustrated by a recently leaked image of barbed wire fences along the border between China and North Korea. Clearly, these fences are not for amusement. They are erected to keep people within the borders. North Korea does not relinquish a citizen without a fight. The barbed wire is even electrified, ready to deliver shocks to anyone who dares to touch it. Nevertheless, some individuals have managed to escape through this barrier, though the success rate is exceedingly low. Therefore, it is best not to attempt to flee this country at any cost. No Niner bench as a home. Even in prosperous nations that collaborate with the rest of the world, homelessness remains a significant issue. While the North Korean government has never acknowledged this reality, it is almost certain that the country is also rife with homelessness. This suspicion was recently confirmed through a leaked photograph showing a man and a child seemingly lying on a bench with nowhere else to call home. This dire phenomenon is not new, but discovering it within North Korea is particularly striking, especially given the country's reputation for secrecy and its efforts to conceal its problems. What are your thoughts on this situation? Please share your opinions. No 8 hungry children must eating raw corn. Children should be nurtured and cherished as gifts from nature, yet this is not a priority in North Korea. Instead of seeing many children attending school, a recently released photograph depicts hungry kids struggling to eat raw corn off the ground. The sight of these children eating corn is heartbreaking. One could argue that they have worked hard to obtain this corn as a reward, but perhaps they are too hungry to wait until they get home to eat it. This is certainly not a positive image of the nation, and we know the government is acutely aware of this reality. No 7 the soldier carrying wood. North Korea is notorious for its use of forced and inhumane labor involving its citizens. It is often thought that the hardships in North Korea weigh heavily on ordinary people, but the harsh truth is that soldiers also endure significant struggles. In a recent leaked photograph, we see a soldier carrying 2 large logs, suggesting a form of forced labor. Life for soldiers in North Korea has never been easy since they enlist, as they must not only serve in the military but also endure grueling labor. All citizens are required to serve in the military, and any mistakes can lead to imprisonment, making the military environment extremely serious. No 6 sleeping on duty. We know that life for soldiers in North Korea can be incredibly challenging, so it is no surprise to see the next photograph. This image shows a soldier asleep while on duty, reflecting the immense stress he must endure. Sleeping on the job is not a wise decision, as it could lead to severe consequences if he is discovered. As this photograph circulates online, we can only hope that the North Korean government remains unaware of it. No 5 poor education system. The next photograph hints at the mysterious education system in North Korea. The government seems intent on concealing this reality, but the truth remains evident before us. The image depicts an empty classroom filled with desks meant for children, but no one is sitting in them. The classroom walls are adorned with a board featuring ideological slogans. What stands out in this image is the poor educational standards, despite the nation's claims of prioritizing education and asserting that all students are literate. The emptiness of the classroom reflects a lack of proper equipment and learning tools, which is truly disappointing. Clearly, the nation's true priorities lie in investing in political indoctrination rather than providing a better educational experience for future generations. No for a dilapidated home. The next image is undoubtedly one that the North Korean government would do anything to prevent the public from seeing. It starkly contrasts with the propaganda that the nation promotes. This photograph reveals one of the many dilapidated homes that exist in North Korea, largely unknown to the outside world. If there is a country that truly wants to hide its state of despair, it is North Korea. The photo showcases a crumbling dwelling, with its structure and surroundings reflecting abject poverty. It also offers a glimpse into the lives of those enduring the country's backwardness. These homes are not abandoned signs of life abound, such as clothes hanging on a line and a small vegetable patch. This indicates that people are constantly striving to survive despite their hardships. It is baffling how the struggles of citizens are concealed from the rest of the world. What are your thoughts on these images of homes? Please share your feelings. No 3 Dolphin Aquarium. The Dolphin Aquarium in North Korea is one of the most peculiar places you could ever encounter. In an effort to enhance its image, the government has attempted to construct an aquarium similar to those found in other countries. This serves as a facade of prosperity, making the nation appear modern and equipped with entertainment venues for its citizens. However, it also highlights the oddity of having dolphins in such a context. A photograph taken by a visitor shows a crowded aquarium filled with soldiers observing dolphins in a naturalistic setting. While there is nothing wrong with seeking entertainment, the presence of an entirely military group creates an unusual impression. This underscores that the government does not genuinely care about the needs of ordinary citizens who seem too impoverished to enjoy luxuries like dolphins. No 2 Gray Market. In a country where government control permeates every corner from luxury shopping centers to restricted areas, a clandestine economy has quietly thrived: the gray market. Unlike black markets, where transactions occur in secret and peril, gray markets operate through a more sophisticated system, providing citizens with a clever means to access essential goods. Under tight state regulation, imports are severely restricted. Yet, the demands of the populace are boundless. To meet these needs, a network of vendors has emerged, operating discreetly yet effectively. These pioneers find ways to introduce scarce goods into the market, from everyday items like chewing gum and cigarettes to more luxurious products. Gray market stalls are often set up in discreet, easily movable locations. They could be a small corner of a home, a dark alley, or even an old truck. Vendors must always be vigilant against the risk of detection and confiscation. Consequently, they frequently change their business locations and find ways to disguise their goods. Life for those working in the gray market is fraught with risks, from arrests and fines to the loss of their entire inventory. What are your thoughts on this market? Please share your views below. No 1 Inequality. When discussing the elite, it is easy to complain about inequalities that you have not truly witnessed. A leaked photo from North Korea showcases inequality in its purest form. It depicts a woman in luxurious attire pushing a cart overflowing with food. However, the scene becomes suspect when we realize that the shopping center where she is photographed is typically quite empty. If you are wondering why, it is not due to a lack of customers, rather, it is exclusively reserved for the elite. This means that the vast majority of people are barred from entering. The upper class in North Korea comprises about 10% of the population. Despite economic sanctions, they live lavish lives adorned with designer fashion, wielding smartphones, driving luxury cars, indulging in scenic flights, learning horseback riding, and pursuing a host of other luxurious hobbies. This elite group often resides in the capital, Pyongyang, while the impoverished populace must live in rural areas, many never having the opportunity to visit the capital in their lifetimes. So, we have explored 20 images smuggled out of North Korea. What are your thoughts on these images? Would you be interested in visiting North Korea to experience it for yourself? Is there another topic you would like us to cover? Please feel free to comment and share your thoughts. Thank you for watching our videos. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated with our latest content. See you in the next videos.